And the best way of stamping ink onto the page at that time, in the late 60s, was letterpress, which literally impresses the type into the page. My first partner in the printing business, Ted, and I reached a point where we decided that we could make paper, because we were looking out on the marsh that was behind the first print shop. And it was Spartina, right? Isn't that what that marsh grass is called? And it's essentially all fiber. And it was fall, and it was fairly dry, and we knew nothing about making paper. Certainly, two guys in the 20th century can make paper. So we go out with our, scissors or sickle or something, and we harvest a bunch of marsh grass, and we bring it back, and we're, reading the book. Well, cut it to a length and put it in water and macerate it and get rid of the cellulose, or get rid of the crap, and you're left with fiber. The process is, one way or another, you generate some fiber. You suspend the fiber in water, but it disperses evenly in the water, and it's a uniform suspension. You need a mold. The mold needs to be a screen of some kind that will allow the water to drain away, and you have a frame around the screen, and you pick up the fiber suspended in liquid. The water falls out the bottom, and you're left with a mat that resembles felt more than anything else. And it's on the screen. Now, because of the nature of the fibers, you can turn that over onto a piece of wool, and it will stick to the wool, and you can take the mold off. It's not paper yet. It's gelatinous, almost. Now you need to stack several of these up, and you need a press to squeeze more of the water out of it. Presto. Sheets of paper. They're still very wet, and you can't do anything with them. There's a drying process and then a polishing process. Within a couple of days, we had made paper, and then we were able to actually print with ink that we had made from hand-set type on paper we had made. And we were inordinately proud of ourselves. We almost immediately went into production, making the paper, and printed a book of mine called Rafting Quivik Creek on all handmade paper with handmade covers. And then there were another 100 or so copies that were on commercial paper. The fact that the type punched an impression into the page, I was struck right away with how correct that was for poetry. That something about a poem being embossed, physically embossed into the page, had an absolute correctness about it. That it was better.